Number 21, distance versus time graphs. For this one, you just want to make sure that you just think about it a little bit. The slope of the lines are very important in questions like this, so let's just get into it. Elena has an exercise routine in which she runs uphill, rests, and bikes downhill, not in any set order. The graph below shows a routine on a given day. So you can kind of look at this as, she's either running, biking, or resting. So, you got event 1, you got event 2, and, you got event 3, and you can kind of see these events kind of split up like that. So one thing to note, we know that the middle activity or the second activity is going to have to be resting. You got basically a slope of 0, which means she's not going anywhere distance-wise. So the only two with rested in the middle, or as a second activity, are going to be B and D. So we can just say A and C are definitely not right. You can count those out. The other thing to note is the slope of the line. When you see, activity 1 has a much higher, well, not much higher, but definitely a higher slope than activity 3. Therefore, we know that she's traveling, distance, velocity, equals, you don't need to know that for this equation, but just to break it down, velocity, or I guess you could call it speed, is distance over time. So when you have this, we're going a lot farther in distance from here to here in 1 than we are from here to here in 3. So, you've got this distance for activity 3 roughly, and this big distance for activity 1. So you can kind of see the distance over time is going to be larger for that. So it's just something to think about. So clearly she would have to be, for activity 1, she would be on the bike. Activity 2, she'd be resting. And since the slope on activity 3 is less than 1, that's where she'll be running, because she's traveling slower, or velocity is smaller. So we can see that B is the correct answer. And just to point out something that will hopefully make a little bit of sense, if she were to basically run her bike uphill at the same at a certain speed, and then rest, and then bike downhill to where she started at the same speed, it would just kind of look something like that. And one thing that you won't see, I probably shouldn't even say this, obviously you'll never see anything like that. That means she got in a time machine and went back to the future or the past. I don't know. That just means she went in a time machine. Don't worry about that. All right, that's it for this one. The answer is B.